Hello and welcome back to Bookish, and welcome to a video where I'm shooting outside. A really nice day in the shade here at a park near my house. Thought I'd just take you out, show you a little nature around my new house. Hello and welcome back to Bookish, and welcome to a video in which, like I said, I'm going to be doing two quick reviews. One of The Intuitionist by Colson and Whitehead, and the second, 3 Days in June by Ann Tyler. I read both these books. One is audio, one is a physical book, right at the end of July, and I didn't get them in another video, so I thought I would put them in this one. So starting with The Intuitionist, this is, I believe, Colson Whitehead's first book, and in lots of ways it shows. That doesn't mean it isn't a good book. That doesn't mean that you don't get a lot of the flair of Colson Whitehead's writing and his writing style and his ideas. But it does kind of show as a first novel in the sense that I think he tries to stuff a whole lot of stuff into this one book. So basically, the book involves a young woman whose name is Lila Mae Brown. I believe that's her last name. I'm really bad at character names. Who is an elevator repair person. She is the first female black elevator repair person in what is this kind of fictionalized version of New York City. And elevator repair people and the Elevator Repair Guild are the #1 guild, the most important work group in this world. And elevators are the kind of engine of change in this fictionalized, like I said, New York that Colson Whitehead creates in the book. And those elevator repair people are divided into two groups: Intuitionists and empiricists. Empiricists believe, in studying the parts and how things work, and the scientific approach. And Intuitionists listen to the elevators and discern, what the elevators need and what's going on with the elevators from that. And this division within the guild divides the city. It leads to corrupt politicians, small-time crooks, and gang members get involved, and there's violence. And Lila Mae Brown finds herself kind of caught up in this situation, and she decides that she's going to try to sort her way through what really is an attempt to, by both sides, the empiricists and the intuitionists, to find this book written by this elevator guru. The second of his books, written by this elevator guru, which is kind of like the holy grail for intuitionists. Obviously empiricists want to suppress the book, the intuitionists want the book to go out, and they think it will, revolutionize things and change the world. And, really what Whitehead here is exploring, I think, are basic themes about, science versus art versus intuition versus human nature, and which one leads us in the best direction, best path. I think his themes are fairly obvious here and occasionally heavy-handed. Additionally, it really took me a while to kind of grasp what was going on in the sense of how important elevators were and why they were. And there's a minor kind of fantastical element to the book in that you believe that this guru from the past, this elevator genius from the past, kind of worked all these things out and was able to put them in this book, which kind of revolutionized the way society worked. And that his second book, which is lost and is nobody can find it, is supposed to be further the idea of moving forward. That's a little bit hard to, I think, understand and grasp, and I'm not sure that Whitehead offers the reader enough early on. You're kind of thrown into the book in the deep end without a lot of explanation. But I think if you are a Colson Whitehead reader and you find his writing to be entertaining, there are entertaining parts of this book. If you're a completionist, I can see wanting to read this book. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it; it's just that it wasn't a great book. So the second book I want to talk about is 3 Days in June, which is the first novel I've read by Ann Tyler since Breathing Lessons. I read Accidental Tourist and Breathing Lessons way back in, the 80s? The early 90s, and I liked it, and I thought Ann Tyler was a good writer, a good, solid, clear, stylish writer. But for whatever reason, I had never read anything else by her, and I listened to this as an audiobook. But even in that context, and I've said this before, audiobooks oftentimes have a hard time assessing the writing. Here I didn't. It was clear, it was simple, it was in lots of ways stripped back, it was beautiful and really effective, and the writing is great. The story involves a woman named Gail Blaine, I believe, whose daughter, who is in her 30s or so, is getting married. And so she's preparing for these 3 days in June. They're going to surround the wedding. And to kind of complicate matters, she becomes aware, she thinks that her daughter's fiance has already cheated on her, and her desire to kind of save her from that kind of pain. And to complicate things further, her ex-husband shows up at her house planning to stay for the duration of the wedding, and he's brought along a cat that he's fostering, which leads to kind of funny situations. And the book overall has a light and funny tone, but there are kind of serious undertones about relationships, about how we forgive ourselves, what we forgive in other people here. And I thought it was really good. Probably won't make my top 10 books, but I thought it was really good, and it makes me want to go back and read a lot more Ann Tyler that I've missed at different points in the past. Anyway, there you go. There are the 2 books that I read right at the end of July, the last 2 books of July. I look forward to your comments about these books or anything else you want to comment about in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching.